Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's, I was going to say Critical Role, Cyberpunk game. Ooh.
Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Mercer.
We are a Friday night here on the Eastern Seaboard, and I have a whole week in me, so hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Simon, at Wandering DM. Before we begin, before we go back into the chaos that was all over Night City last week, I would just like to thank our sponsors for tonight, starting with, of course, Artalsorian Games, the makers of Cyberpunk. Check them out at artalsoriangames.com, and also keep an eye out on your friendly local gaming stores, your FLGSs, as the hardcover book of Cyberpunk Red is coming out next month. Actually, if I'm right, it's in a month and 3 days by now. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Get your pre-orders ready. And the book, the PDF, comes out 3 days before, so I think it's in exactly 30 days from now on anywhere you can get, PDFs of books. It is gorgeous, by the way. If you have seen the panel at Gen Con that Jay Kovac was on, you've seen art of Cyberpunk. The art and the layout of the book is just amazing. And the content is also, we've played with this content for weeks now. And thank you, Renegade. 14th for November. 14th of November for digital and 19th for the hard copies. But yes, the book is gorgeous. It is very well done. It's got a slew of fun stuff. You have to get your hands on it. That said, our other sponsor is, of course, Roll20, the platform that we use for all of our games here on Wandering DM. We also have Magen Press, the makers of 5th edition D&D supplements, such as Dark Matter, the sci-fi fantasy campaign setting that they've made for D&D. And, of course, our favorite coffee company here that is also part of our setting, apparently, is Found Familiar, which you can check out at foundfamiliar.com. And lastly, our partners, Level Up Dice. More on them at the end of the show. like slightly off-centered tonight. And before we go back in, let's go around the table, introduce our cast for this evening. Beginning with the person on my right. I think we'll do that for the whole season. It's just easier. We'll do clockwise intros, starting with Adelaide.
That's me. I'm Adelaide Gardner. You can find me at OAdelaide on Twitter. I am a content creator. I am on multiple shows, including some that are coming up very, very soon. On my own channel at action_fiction, which Chris Geary, beneath me, I think, is going to be GMing one of those shows. So check that out. It'll be in a couple weeks. And I also make role-playing games. Said about me. Oh, I play Reno, our solo. Who cares about this game? Whatever. I'm just here to advertise myself. It's fine.
And our next player is Anino.
Wow. How do you follow that?
A disaster.
My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns. And for this game, I play Jimenez, the team's most charismatic member.
And
there,
mime.
I said it. Yes, also the mime.
Part-time mime, part-time wrestler, full-time vigilante. Our next member is Rin.
Hey, I'm Ren. I play Jinx. It's probably gonna be crazy tonight. Maybe. That's about it. I'm not doing anything major. So.
Well, next up is Chris.
Hey everyone, it's me, Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. Like Adelaide said, I will be running a season of Castle Falkenstein for her for the cosplay shows that she's going to be doing. So look for those over on Action Fiction. But come here every Friday because we need you here in Night City while I play Dr. White, or Mr. White and Dr. Frost, who sometimes get their wires crossed, it seems.
Can anyone hear the music?
No.
You can only hear it in Roll20.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in Roll20, but I don't hear it. That's strange.
It's been kind of in and out, but you kind of hear it in the background and it's subtle.
Okay. But our last player, while I fiddle around with the sound, is Deirdre.
Oh, hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on the Twitter, or Prexworth as me before. You see me around on Twitch, and I get to play Trends, a wonderful neighborhood mechanic who is super nice and likes everyone, and possibly thinks, she's pretty sure, it's almost 90% positive that she is actually dating Jimenez.
There was a lot of pretty sure and positive in there.
Well, she definitely knows that they went on one date, and then that there was a lot of dinners afterwards, so probably.
Well, we'll discover more about that relationship and all of the other fun stuff as we go back into Night City tonight. Last we left our group, they were in front of their apartment building. Jimenez having jumped out of a cab as he got a ride home after his almost disastrous match that everyone was watching on TV. He left Trins over at the club where she had to basically drive herself home as Jimenez went to check out on an old pal of his, the now probably ex-wrestler Ice Dragon, who was an unfortunate bystander and suffered collateral damage in the game that we now know is called Last Man Standing, that has taken a Night City by force. Jimenez jumped out of the car crashed, the driver managed to exit the vehicle as well. He was hastily operated on by Mr. White, who removed the Last Man Standing chip from the driver's eyeball.
Hastily and still without any error.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to note that. Suck it, cock.
And the group learned that Carver, in fact, was on the list of registered... What's their name again? Ripper Docs, who can introduce players to this new game. Very deadly game where the goal of it is to literally be the last man standing. We'll focus the camera back on the group in front of the apartment building. Taxi cab driver having driven home. The rest of our gang are up to what now?
I move in my new car because we flipped it, and now I have put it in neutral, and because I pulled the automatic drive system out of it, and now we're gonna rewire it and fix it so it doesn't need to require that cybernetic connection, because that's stupid. You can get hacked on that shit. And then, you know, build it out as a new SUV for Jinx.
Mm-hmm. So you're pulling the car, well, pushing the car back into the garage. What are the other 4 members of our group doing?
I thought it was a group effort.
Oh, then everyone's pushing. Yeah, I mean, Trins by herself couldn't possibly push a car.
Oh yeah, me and Jimenez were having to flip the car content.
Yeah.
And
That's
Jimenez
right.
showed
remember
off by just using his pinky.
It's fine.
But,
I can
you
still
know.
do it too.
You did great, Reno. It's just he had to one up you. You know, a little too much panache or whatever in his Cheerios.
He did a few points better. But the important part is that he made it seem effortless. So the gang pushes the car back into the garage. Right next to your heavily armored RV, and the other tenants' less impressive vehicles.
We like the vacation in style, I guess.
And the Mustang.
There was a Mustang?
It's the only car she brought with her from the garage. It's her car.
Oh yeah, and I found out that trauma team wants to move me to a floating hospital in the sky,
Yes.
which I haven't told anybody about yet. But
Yes.
so yeah, White's in a weird mood.
There was also another thing about Trauma Team, though. If I recall correctly, a call was made by White to Donald Oliver, the man who's in charge in ordering for Trauma Team, and something happened with one of the lot of painkillers.
Yeah,
Aesthetics.
Yeah, then aesthetics. And instead, the fluid inside the syringes were changed to a combination of basically, I can't remember,
blood
but
thinners and
but I don't remember the exact name of the
something toxicants or something like that.
cytotoxics.
Yeah.
Cytotoxins.
Cytotoxins. Yeah.
That basically
to
prevents
basically-
people from healing from any injuries.
2 of them we found out were actually used on patients.
Yeah.
One died. The other one was in critical condition but is expected to survive. And the rest were taken out of circulation, according to Dawn,
Yeah.
who assured me my batch is fine.
Yeah. And he also, on behalf of Mr. White, when you called him, told you that he would look into it and try to figure out where things went wrong with that batch.
Yeah. And I assured him that I would let him handle it with upper management unless he wanted me to make a stink, because they're not going to fire me.
And reminiscing or remembering these moments from the last day as you enter the garage. You notice, once you've parked the car, that 2 of your tenants are leaving the apartment. It's not so late at night, but kind of late for them. Aaron and Brigham are leaving. They're just politely waving at you, smiling, getting into their car. A small Prius-like car. And they drive away. What do you all do after that?
White will give a look over at Amenas. And he'll go, Do you want to go with me to have a talk with Kava? Last time I wasn't as friendly as I could have been.
Well, that's fair, but yeah, maybe I need to speak to him in a more loud and clear manner.
Because I'm pretty sure this time I'm going to drop him.
Oh, come on. I just spent all that time redoing his entire apartment.
We can turn it into an office for Mr. White if we really need to. No, we're just going to have a talk.
Yeah, because if Trauma Team really pushes this whole you gotta live on the flying ship thing, I might tell him to stick it where the sun don't shine. Then I have to actually open up a shop somewhere.
But then maybe you could invite your very nice new girlfriend. She says as she's like half underneath the car.
I wouldn't call Bianca that, but whatever. And he'll kind of clearly flustered, like head into the building.
We know that Trent is working on the car. Him and Mr. White are going off after Carver. Reno and Jinx, what are you up to?
You all can join if you want. It can be a big group intervention.
I kind of wanted to go watch.
I think it could be fun. I am busy writing up notes to stick onto the door of the apartment building that say, if you decide to play this game, make sure you don't blow the complex up. Fees will be assigned.
No playing game on premises. Or no game playing on premises.
Right. No shenanigans.
No shenanigans.
No
Oh crap, I gotta
tomfoolery.
move out.
We all have to move out if there was no shenanigans allowed.
So you go apartment by apartment, sticking that note on every door, and right after you stuck the note onto the Showalter's door.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Barry.
Yeah, Barry opens the door almost the moment your hand touches it.
Oh, Barry.
Oh,
Just sending out weekly notices.
and he like takes it from the door and looks at it, and he's like, but what's that game? But
You don't know, don't look it up, just don't be involved.
But does that mean no games? Like at all?
No, you can play games, but you can't play this game.
Oh.
It's called the game, is apparently what it's called. So just don't play the game.
Okay. I'm not much of a AR player. I like my brain dance.
Hmm.
Hey, I have a question And he sort of like ushers you in the corridor as he sort of half closes the door behind him. My mom's getting kind of old and can't really care for her that much. You wouldn't happen to know if I don't have the money to send her to a home or anything like that, but I just, maybe on the street there are, like, do you know of a nurse or something, like someone who could, because
we have a doctor that lives in the apartment complex. I'm sure he knows someone who could use work.
That Mr. White.
That would be the one.
Yeah, he kind of scares me a bit. But
More than me?
well, I mean, you're the superintendent. Like, it's there's a sort of relationship that's been established for me as a tenant and you as the dominant figure, and I respect that, but I just, Mr. White is
He's fine. He's a surgeon. He's fine. Professional.
okay, but my mom needs more of a
A
full-time
nurse.
nurse.
I know, but he does work in hospital. He sees nurses all the time. I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'm
not the very maternal type.
Oh, I wasn't asking for you particularly, unless the nurse could sleep and there would be room, and but if not, that's not your look. I'll talk to Mr. White.
Talk to Mr. White. Just awkwardly inching away.
And
oh, he's so weird.
he goes back in, and you hear his mother call out, "Barry, who was that? That was your girlfriend?" And Barry's like, "No, Mom. It was the superintendent." "She gonna raise rent again?" No, Mom.
Only raised the rent once.
Yeah, but that was already one time too many for her.
Things are expensive in Night City.
So you keep going up and up, and as you do so, you would hear maybe not the beginning of the events that are going to happen at Carver's apartment, but I'll certainly let you know, like, when you start to actually hear things, since you're still, the Showalters are on the 4th floor, and Carver is 4 floors above. So by the time you reach him, the scene will have already begun. So speaking of the scene,
I pound on the door. Carver, open up.
no, just a minute, and you would hear the sound of a, like those dentist drills, very high pitch.
It's the sound of nightmares, yes.
Yeah. So you hear the sound of nightmare, and a splort, and a shit. Fuck.
Do I need to save your patient again?
No. Give me a moment, White. Come on, you just get back in there.
It's Dr. Frost.
Frost, give me just... And you hear a loud crunch a muffled swear, and then footsteps up to the door as Carver opens the door, holding his left wrist with his right hand, trying to cover a trickle of blood that comes out of it.
So when the door opens, Jimenez is going to hit him with one of his signature moves, the Sparkliest Magician. It's a flying knee to the face.
Oof. Make a make a martial arts check.
I mean, I don't want to kill the guy, but sure.
Well, yeah, make the check so you could kind of like hold back. Right?
All right, Kitty, you're on my character sheet. Could you move? Thank you. The new character sheet's pretty cool, by the way.
Yep.
Wait, there are new sheets?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Wow, they're very nice.
Landscape.
Yeah.
I know.
It's just that I've been reading the book and not reading, like, the character sheets. I figured, like, they're the same. But no, they're actually, we'll print one out for you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just teasing a lot of the viewers.
You'll see it in a month. It's fine.
Yep. So a 21, you said.
Yes.
With a 21, you knee him across the face. Carver goes flying back and hits the ground of his apartment. You know, the hard steel floor that Trent has been installing. He falls down with a thud and a son of a bitch. He stopped holding on to his left wrist, which you now notice has a square of skin that's been cut through. There's like 4 lines leaking with blood around them. He goes, "Oh, what a piece of shit! What was that for?"
Why in anything, any sort of reason in that head of yours would you be involved with something like Last Man Standing? And why would you bring that shit into this apartment building?
As far as I'm concerned, Frost, I install cyberware. What people do with their parts, I don't give a shit.
But you can choose which companies you choose to work with.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna do
You're
anything.
on a list of approved surgeons. They didn't just show up out of the blue and go, "Oh, hey, dude, can you put this in my eye?" They were sent to you, which means you were contacted by someone running this game. Or connected to the person running this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who is it?
2 seconds, I'm just gonna change my mic. A little bit of issues with the one that I have. Can anyone hear me? Voice quality would have changed, but I'm gonna have to look into what's going on with my other mic.
It's not very loud, though.
This one's not very loud?
No, it's kind of soft.
Oh.
You sound far away.
That's weird. It might be my computer. Let me just verify something. No, it's yet that's the one that. Oh, oh. Hmm. That might be a little. No, it's. Can. Oh, that might be a little better.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. So, Carver will tell you through muffled voice and cursing that he was approached by someone for the game. In fact, he he was approached by what's the company name? No, that's the name of the game. Oh no! Oh
It's
no!
Stalin Kava.
No, he's not. He's not stalling. It's Simon trying to look for the name.
I know. I was just trying to. I was leaning into it, Simon.
Oh, okay,
I was leaning into it.
Yeah. So curses. Carver buffers for a moment, and there we go. DMS.
DMS.
Yes, it stands for diverse media systems. You would know DMS as the company behind the brain dance technology. Like without a role, without anything, they are behind Network News 54, which is a major competitor to WorldSat. But also DMS is someone who they're about everywhere that you could have a video feed, to the point where even as a member of Trauma Team, Mr. White, you would know that any footage that you find on, well, not that you find, but that you film, because a lot of the, like in our modern days, police, they have to wear body cams. In Night City, Trauma Team has to do the same. Not all the time, but sometimes they have to, especially since it can be used afterwards as training material for new employees.
Yep. And just like modern day police, White never turns his on.
In Cyberpunk, they made sure that it could never be turned off. And
that's why he never turns it on, because he doesn't have a choice.
But you know that all of this technology, both the hardware and the servers these videos are stored on and everything, this is all DMS owned. They're not a major like, I don't want to say evil company, because all companies are evil, but they're more like a
except for Found Familiar.
Except for Found Familiar. But they it's more that they don't really meddle in politics. They do entertainment. And
yeah,
they try, of course they're not completely neutral. They never are. But they're not,
they try to be impartial.
Yeah. They're not as involved as other companies, let's say like Militech was, or whoever. Like they're not. I should say they're not warmongers. They don't profit from warmongering.
Well, the game sure looks like they are.
Well, that's the thing. The game would be like their first foray into that.
So you're approached by someone from DMS. And who is this someone?
A guy. Flank.
If he hesitates much longer, he's laid out on the floor, right?
He's trying to get back up as he talks.
I'm gonna grab his feet and start dragging him out of the apartment.
Hey, whoa! Flank, Edward Flank. I was met by Edward Flank.
Edward Flank. I drop his feet.
And he tries to get back up again. Slowly, he tries at first to like roll on his left side and put his left hand down to push himself up. But the moment he does so, you see a squirt of blood coming out from the wrist, and he immediately.
What did you do to your wrist?
Flips over. By the way, Adelaide, this is where Reno would start hearing things in the corridor.
Do you need me to fix your wrist so you can concentrate?
No, you just. He gets up, looks at his wrist.
You know it's always dangerous to operate on yourself. You only do it in the field if you have no other choice.
Yeah, well, I was.
There's another surgeon right here that will help you. Free of charge, even.
Another surgeon whose friend, and he looks at Jimenez with this, like, broken nose, who just fucking kneed me in the face?
Well, you just sent a bunch of people to their death.
I install cyberware.
Yeah, for a game where everyone is supposed to kill people until there's only one person left.
I install cyber arms that can crush steel.
Mm-hmm.
Frost, what do you think I install them for? So people can masturbate? They're gonna punch people to
I haven't
death.
seen your hard on, but I can see why it might be useful. It's different when you're working with a contractor who you know is going to eventually do something shitty with something that's in level playing field than putting a chip in the eye of some cabbie that's just trying to find the way to make their life, you know, the best it's ever been because they're tired of being in the dregs of society, and you're preying on their desperation and you set them up to get killed by some solo who's going after a big payday.
Okay, wait. First of all, I don't know anything about this game. Alright?
Then why did you agree to something you don't know anything about?
Because it's...
You're not that stupid, Kava. I'm not going to let you get off with being stupid, because you're not stupid. You're a damn good surgeon.
Hey, Frost, we don't all make 5-digit salaries with Trauma Team, you know?
No, I know. You let your demons get the best of you, and you got kicked out of that life.
Yeah, so I do what I must to make ends meet. And one of them includes not asking too many questions when a new video game comes out and a bunch of people want to pay me extra bucks to just install it in their eyes.
Come on, Kava. You could have asked any one of us here to do a little snooping.
I did a little snooping on my own. It wasn't Arasaka, it wasn't Militech, and it's sure as hell not IEC, because I wouldn't touch them after what happened.
I know that.
So,
like
Hollywood
I said,
comes
you're not
out with a
stupid.
new thing, I install it. If people want to kill themselves over the new fad, that is not my problem. If they fail to kill themselves and they come to me for repairs, that becomes my problem. But that also becomes my bread and butter.
No. You let one of those guys with a chip that's active in this building becomes a target. I got called out to a building that got shot down with an RPG because some guy with that chip in his eye was inside it. They don't care about collateral damage, Kava. You're not risking my ass and anyone else in this building for an extra repeat customer. If you're that hard up for getting money and you need jobs, let me know. I'll send people your way. You know Trauma Team doesn't cover everybody. We only cover people with cards. But that doesn't mean other people don't need help.
Make
Other people
a
who
make a
can
persuasion
pay.
check.
Oh, shit. Persuasion, huh? No, that's not bad. Voila. That's not right. Is that? Yeah, that's right. No, I didn't add my stat. Sorry.
Yeah,
So I have
because
to
that
add
was
my
like
cool-
just a
my
6.
cool. That was just the +6 is just my ability. So that's a 9 plus. That's a 17. 9 plus 8.
17. Carver stops, and he looks at you and says, "A whole building."
Yeah, they took out the whole building for one guy.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You could have found that out on the news.
Yeah, well, that game has been keeping me busy. It's the apartment is my apartment is not where I do the bulk of the installs. I figured if too many people came in here, Reno would get suspicious.
Yeah, and she would have been pissed about this too. In fact, I think she's putting up flyers everywhere saying you can't play it on the premises, which means you can't have anyone who is actively playing on the premises because once you're active, you are always playing.
I'm not interrupting them, by the way. I'm assuming you when you said I hear stuff in the hallway, I hear their conversation, correct?
Yes, you hear their conversation.
Yeah, I'm just kind of lingering outside, just listening.
Okay.
Because we're not killing everybody in the building for a quick buck.
Well, I mean, the Andersons.
They don't bring that shit into the building.
No, but nobody would miss them.
It meant it.
Ed, like, yeah, he has a point.
I don't know what point he made because my entire computer froze after Anino laughed.
Oh, wow. The Andersons. Well, the Andersons. Well, he has a point. But the Andersons aside, not here, ever. Edward, flank.
Yeah, and you can send me people on a regular basis.
Yeah, now that I know you need people.
Yeah, I do.
Before, you were telling me about how everything was grand and you had all this income. You were flashing cash. I don't need anything from you, White. I don't need anything. All right, I believe you.
Well, to be fair, there was an unidentified group that happened to have blown up his employers. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you were working for IEC? I know you got some jobs from them, but you could have had other people, right?
Look, that might have been a lot of pride talking, Frost. Just, yeah, if you can. Anyway, I'm out of the chips. I don't know. Flank stopped returning my calls, so
Good.
since last week I don't have anything.
Good. Now, for your sake, because Reno, if she finds out that you're lying to me, she's going to have your ass. I will start and I will diversify your clientele. I will make sure that the Cadillacs know that they can come here for any of their needs. They are running a little broader and a little buffer than before now that one of their competition got totally run out of Little Italy. And they're probably going to need some help expanding and using that new cash that they've been bringing in. And I will also send those who have the funds, I won't send you charity cases. Don't worry. To you. Well, from any spot I end up that I can't treat them because of trauma team, I will send them your information instead. Fair?
And no more knee to the face.
I don't know. That's between you and the menace. Because he doesn't like this game either.
Oh, what do you say?
I
Truce?
can't promise anything.
Alright, get the fuck out of my house. Oh no, wait, I'm in the corridor. I'm going
Yeah.
back to my house.
Do you need help with your arm, Kava?
No, I'm good. I'm practicing.
What are you practicing that you need to cut a square out of your arm for?
Oh, come see.
All right.
And inside his apartment, on that like steel slab table that he has, there's this machine. It looks like a spider on its back with all of its limbs curled up, each limb being a different tool. You've seen a similar tools like that in operating rooms.
Yeah, they call him the Da Vinci or something like that.
Yeah,
Because it's got all the arms.
That's it. It's on a bigger scale normally and everything. This one is smaller. And Carver explains that he tried to put it together.
Where'd you score a mini one of these?
Built it.
Built it from scratch?
Yeah, well, I had a few help from a couple clients. I'm trying to tell it to follow a pattern, and he shows you like a program on his agent.
Well, I can't help you with the programming piece, but Trins could work out any of the kinks with the mechanicals if you're having any calibration issues.
Well, right now
she did a great job with your floor.
My problem right now is I have to thank her for the floors. I'm afraid if she touches it, that thing is gonna gain sentience or something.
She doesn't do programming.
Well, right now, thing is, it's supposed to stitch up skin, right? And leave no scar tissue, which is what I'm trying to do. Something just doesn't work. It does the exact pattern that I want, but it doesn't produce the. Yeah,
Do you want
it's
me
not
to
working.
see if I can find someone who can work on the code?
If you find someone who's good with artificial intelligence or something, yeah, sure.
It's AI?
It's a basic form of AI. Yeah, it should. Normally,
Ooh.
you can just tell it to, what the wound looks like, and the machine is supposed to be able, on a smaller scale than a full-blown Da Vinci, to, find the best way to suture the wound.
So you don't even have to operate it like the Da Vinci. This one's supposed to just use all voice command and its own rudimentary AI.
Oh no, you just put here, and he opens his fridge, and there's a rank smell coming out of there.
You need better refrigeration.
And he pulls out like a half-rotten liver from a plastic container, and he holds it up with his hand and like shakes it, and like little bits of stuff. And it's like pig liver. And he takes a scalpel and he cuts in it, and like makes sure to open the wound and to make like a zigzaggy cut type of thing. And he fills the cut with fake blood.
Okay.
And puts it down on the mini Da Vinci. Turns his the program on, and the machine basically there's one of the arms is a small camera that just scans the wound, and then the other arms begin almost immediately to pull the liver closer around the wound, and theoretically would stitch it at that point. And Carver explains that the machine basically what it does is it finds the best way to suture a wound that will leave as little to no scar tissue at all.
So instead of approximating the margins, it aligns them almost flawlessly.
And that way you don't have to buy, expensive cosmetic surgery afterwards, especially if you're now this mini machine does it on the limbs. I can do anything that fits in the machine, and basically the machine is not big enough to fit a human head inside, but it could fit up to like a thigh, a very strong thigh. Just
like Andre the Giant sized thigh?
No, that would be too much.
Okay.
Because it's, wider than some people's
What about
head.
Andre the Giant's bicep?
Yep, that could work.
Okay.
And yes, you don't have to pay for, expensive surgery when you have a massive amount of scar tissue. And since that machine is, small, can be transported.
Yeah.
Any solo would want it on the field for quick emergency repairs. And as he's stalking, Jimenez and Jinx and Mr. White, if you're also paying attention to the machine, so it did the thing where it pressed the wound close.
Yeah.
And then instead of shooting like this sealant thing, it's just a laser that went in and just like cut the liver in half.
Yeah, that's really bad programming.
And it's like, that's the last part I need to work on.
Yeah, I will see what I can do. Here's the issue, though. Don't tell anybody you have that.
Oh, no, that's my prototype. You all sworn to secrecy, and he points to Jinx Jimenez and you.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that loud enough and in the direction of everybody. Nobody knows that this is here. Because if Netwatch finds out that there's even a rudimentary AI in this building, they're coming for the whole building.
Oh, yeah, no.
Don't ever hook it up to the net. It can stay compartmentalized.
Not made
but if
for
it
the
ever
net.
gets hooked up to the net, we're screwed.
No, it's just I wouldn't want anyone playing around it.
Yeah.
It's just a basic Bluetooth connection.
Between you and it only, right?
Agent and it, yep.
Agent and it. See, the agent can get to the net. We got to fix that. It's got to be localized to a panel. I'll have Trins get on that. A panel that is not net capable in any way, shape, or form. Because if that AI decides to go for a walk on the net and Netwatch tracks it back here, Reno's going to have your ass.
Fair.
Because after what Raish Bodmas did, they don't take any quarter with anyone with an AI.
Fair.
I cleaned up a couple of their messes about 5 years ago. But yeah, I'll see what I can find. Someone that will be very, very quiet about it, who I have leverage on, so I know that they will be very, very quiet about it. Because that could save a lot of lives of a lot of people who don't have the funds for full-blown surgery, but have enough to pay for the convenience of something like that. You'd have a much broader clientele than anybody else in the city, Kava, because you would be affordable.
Yeah, that thing isn't supposed to stay here. That's like a prototype. I want to hit the market.
You want to sell it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Think of it.
Yeah.
It's like a Solo's friend.
I will see what I can do. Again, I gotta find someone that will not say a word about it anywhere.
Yeah, I would hate to have to kill someone for that.
It would be a bad reason to have to kill someone. But you should power that down before it decides to look for more flesh to sever.
Oh, it doesn't. You really have to. And as he takes the piece of like liver off the machine, he doesn't even have time to finish his sentence that the laser like cuts through his hand, and he goes like, "Ah, shit! At least it's not strong enough to cut through bone yet."
Would you like me to suture your hand?
No, that's a basic.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
leave
But
me alone.
when you have one wrist down and one hand down, it's a lot harder. I have both
I'll
of them just fine.
I'll be fine.
Pride is going to kill you, Kava. All right. Is everybody in agreement that Kava's not going to do anything stupid so we don't have to throw him off the roof?
No, but I don't think we need to throw him off the roof yet.
That's what I
wanted
mean.
to
If he
throw
does
him off the
something
roof,
stupid, we then throw him off the roof.
But I wanted him to go splat.
I don't want him to go splat yet. He could still heal a lot of people.
Okay, fine.
Right, Kava? You got a lot of good left in you, right?
Menace just loses it at that and just starts laughing and walks out of the room.
Jinx too.
Beautiful.
As you're laughing about Carver, as you exit the apartment, you would see Reno standing there in the corridor.
Probably stifling a laugh.
AI, huh?
Shh, we don't talk about it.
I just stare at him and shake my head. I'm just like, and then I leave and I close the door. And obviously, there I'm with the rest of you. I don't know what to do with that man.
I've got solutions.
And I thought we were trouble. Like, you're right.
Are you calling me trouble?
No, not you. I'm
God.
saying Carver's worse than us. We're bad.
We're not bad. We don't leave a trail. Fuck.
That's true.
The Andersons on the first floor could probably track Carver's trail.
I'm totally in agreement that we could get rid of those guys, though. That would be a plus.
If they stop paying rent, then I'm sure Reno will agree. Until then, I don't think Reno's going to agree. And I'm not in any position to agree either until they stop paying rent, because I may be out of a job.
Wait, what?
Trauma team informed me on the street when I was on the phone that they are launching a hospital. Basically a big airship. And they are going to have all trauma team units live on it.
Okay.
I haven't figured it out yet. But I'm not going to let that stand. I don't want to live on a floating ship.
Doesn't sound pleasant, no.
Plus, then I'd have to be around. I mean, I like my crew, but I have to be around the rest of the people. Ugh.
But, like, only while you're working? Or, like, what
No.
about people with families?
There were a lot of unhappy people in the comments of that article when I found it. Like the article in our intranet. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, no, that sucks. I mean, it's cool to fly, but that's about it.
That said, while this is all happening, Trins, back at the garage, what are you doing?
First, I am rewiring this car so it will run without the cybernetic hookup that somebody had put in there, because obviously it's a cheap ass cybernetics, and I'll probably rebuild the whole system, but That's going to take time. This way, it's a cheap and easy fix to get around it, so it'll run the normal way. And then I'm going to build. Have to see what I'm going to need to do to put a new lift gate on the back, so you Jinx can just ride the bike up and dock it. Also, I've got to see how much of the materials I can put on this. What the actual, I'm speccing out the whole vehicle of this SUV to know exactly what I'm planning, because I'm planning to put some armor plating on it. I'm going to pull the, I have a bunch of that laying around. I have probably going to put a NOS system on it, because what's a good car without a NOS system? You need a NOS system, always. Might jack it just a little. Get some, it probably has 22, maybe 22s, maybe at the outside 35s. I'll probably go up to a 48. Not a lot, but just enough. And then probably separate this, do an independent suspension, so you can have an actual independent rear suspension and front suspension. So if Jinx ever has to go through like the combat zone, she doesn't have to worry about, driving over anything that's in her way or anyone.
Judging by the size of the car, I'd say for game purposes, we'll go with 4 mods on it.
Okay. One of the things, okay, I'm going to be nerdy as all hell on this point. What I want to do, and this is probably gonna be the biggest part that's gonna take the most time, and it's gonna take time. I am fully prepared that the suspension is gonna be easy, the NOS system is gonna be easy, the armor plating is relatively easy, but the big thing that will take time, for those of us of a certain age who actually remember the original Voltron series and remembers what the bike locks into the Lions were, I want a bike lock system. So basically, all Jinx has to do is ride the bike into the back of the SUV, and it shifts the controls from the bike to the SUV.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so picture in the original Voltron, there was a whole because it's an anime. There's a whole sequence about getting into the Lions that build into Voltron. But you would go down and they would go through these little tunnels, and there were these little like motorbikes or little capsule, depending on which color lion you were representing on. And they would go through and they would drop and lock in as the command center of the lion, which was the mech. So what I want to do, because it's an SUV, I want to build out the back so it'll have a drop gate, and Jinx can literally ride the bike up the drop gate into the back of the SUV, have the drop gate come up, and it'll lock in place, and you can just literally drive from the...
So you could drive the SUV using the control from the motorcycle?
Yes, if you needed to.
That is the biggest change, yes.
Yes, that would be a massive, massive change. I understand.
You might also need a computer coder person to help make that happen.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but you might. Just saying. Depending on what parts you can find.
Like the armor plating I have, the NOS system is real easy to build. Like, I could theoretically do it if I had time, not just trims. And the equipment. And
Bike lock.
the suspension, just, that's easy-ish. But the other part is going to take time to build, I understand.
Yeah. You're looking at the very least I'm just checking for thank you for the sub. Repairing vehicles. And I'm thinking. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a simple thing of can you roll basic tech? And each day we'll take
basic tech or drive or land vehicle tech.
Oh wait, is land vehicle tech? No, land vehicle
Yes.
is a.
There's land vehicle, sea vehicle.
Yeah, that would be
Air
land
vehicle.
vehicle tech. Yeah,
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
definitely.
That's good. That's a different number.
And what we'll do is we'll use these every day. You can make a check, and once you reach a total of 100, that's one of your changes made.
So that's a 34.
All right, so you got a third of the way. A third of the way in today with all the work, and it's. I'm sorry, we're talking about an 8 to 10 hour workday. So by the time you're done, you're covered in engine grease, in oil, and just general dirt and dust from the garage. We'll fast forward to the next day as you go to sleep and everyone goes to get some rest as well. Jimenez, it is a rare occurrence that a fighter has 2 events booked almost back to back. But scheduling being a problem, and you not being able to have a contract that guarantees you have days off between matches, after last night's heated defeat, you know you have something tonight again, which you have the day to prep for. What do you do to prep for that match?
So it's just going to be a segment. It's not going to be an actual match, but he will send a basic outline of what he expects or wants to happen for that segment to Fiona and the head booker, which is a guy by the name of Russo. And he'll send that early in the morning just so that there's some time to iron out any additional details or address any concerns. But, apart from that, he's just packing up his gear in the morning. He decided he was going to wear an Ice Dragon shirt today.
Can you roll a human perception, please? As you're sending and receiving messages from Fiona all day today.
$16.
So, on a 16, you can't help but notice that many of her replies are confrontational. It's not that she disagrees with what you send, though sometimes she does, and you need to just tweak the segment a bit. But it's she's very passive aggressive about it.
So Jimenez is actually just going to maintain decorum and keep a very professional approach to things. It's just going to mention that, I think it's pretty clear what our roles are to play in this particular thing and how to make the most use out of it. And he will also politely mention that he is the one who's going to be taking the most impact physically from it.
Yeah, it just never seems to be enough. That's the feeling you get.
Yeah. Shocking.
Yeah. Seems like your defeat of last night might still sit wrong on her.
Well,
Wrong
I
with
mean,
her.
it's scripted. But
Yeah, but it maybe
she didn't like the way that
yeah.
it ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it's a matter of, she had expectations and those weren't met the way she wanted, or at least that's what Jimenez gets out of this back and forth today.
yep.
And as someone in chat points out, yeah, it is reminiscent of something that Jimenez has been through with Fiona before. Like, you know her well enough that sometimes she... Yeah. That said, what is everybody else doing today?
Am I on call, or do I have a shift today?
Yes.
Well, then I would have been gone early.
By sunup, yeah, okay.
Trins is probably under the hood of this car early, as she's no longer fully gainfully employed by the NCPD, so she's working on her own projects, and therefore, she had a couple side things that were easy, like a couple oil changes. That took like 5 seconds. God, those are stupid. Important though. Don't forget to get your oil changed, people. But that's not like it actually takes any effort or mind abilities. So she's trying to just work on this planned rig for Jinx.
Make another roll for today. By the way, Jimenez, your at least it's probably not going to be negative.
16. So that's a...
It goes up to 50.
50.
You're
yeah.
halfway there. Which one were you working on first?
The biggest problem.
The biggest? Okay.
Retrofitting the inside of this, I've got to pull the seats, I've got to rewire, I've got to build a lift gate. That's the biggest.
The biggest endeavor.
Yeah, because then everything else is easy.
Before I go to Jinx in Reno, Jimenez, is your segment tonight going to be broadcast?
Yes, it's there's typically a live show that happens right after the pay-per-view, just to deal with the aftermath and set up whatever's next.
Okay.
Story-wise for everybody. So.
And did you let the rest of the group know?
He kind of probably downplayed it a little bit. But I'm pretty sure Trent knows his schedule inside and out by now. So
she has she has like it downloaded, and Benedict has a specific alarm for like half an hour before she has to be there, so she can actually get uncovered in motor oil and grease.
All right. So what is Jinx and Reno doing this next day?
Still concerned about alt, especially with the arrival of this game. Who would we know that would know her?
Not a lot of
I
people.
don't think we know we didn't know a lot of people. I don't know. I think I'll just have to sit on that for now.
Okay.
Chilling out, minding the house.
Okay. You still get that nagging feeling in the back of your mind that there's something.
Something's up.
Yeah.
Something's up.
And of course, if you listen to the news during the day, and that goes for everyone, um, there is now on the Night City News a permanent tally for the game. And through any of their broadcast, any of the shows that they're playing, the talks that they have, or the panels, or whatever, it's always there in the corner of the screen. And it goes up and up. Sometimes it goes back down as a random death is finally found to be attributed to something else than this fad. But we are nearing 1,700 people.
Is this the number of active participants, or is this the number
Death.
of deaths in the game?
Death related to the game. So it doesn't mean that they're active participants, and that, like, now you would sort of know a bit more because you spoke with the cab driver and he kind of explained the game to you. And even with Ice Dragon, what happened, it seems that the news are also counting any collateral as part of, which is sort of okay, because they're dead. Like, these people were killed because of the game, not because
So
they
they're not
participated.
counted by the game. It doesn't count for points in the game, but it can. But the news is tracking them as casualties of the game.
They're casualties of the game because, you know, if I open fire in a shopping mall to gun down one person, or, you know, RPG a whole building, yeah, there's more than one death because of the game, whereas it's only one player that's been killed. But it also, you know, there's a lot of experts coming in on panels over on the news talking about how this is going to die down, this is just a bubble, it's going to burst, and at some point it's going to stop. Others are saying that this death toll is nothing compared to the Fourth Corporate Wars, or even the time when the people that live in the space stations in orbit decided to launch freaking meteors at Denver. You know, it's something that we should be used to. Others will talk about the COVID crisis of the early 2000s and how, you know, 1,700 people is nothing. While others are saying, you know, it's in a city. It's not 1,700 in a country. It's all taking place within a city. That, yes, granted, Night City is humongous and it's got millions living in it. But it's, you know, it's the place where if the game doesn't happen anywhere else than in Night City, at some point it's going to turn the entire city into a battleground, into a new combat zone. And one segment on the news, they are interviewing an ex-NCPD cop. Guy who got fired a while back, by the name of Al Powell. A freaking American man. You would have heard Trents talk about him. He got fired a few weeks ago, basically during the events of Season 2. And he talks about how, like, he's not surprised that the NCPD doesn't do anything to put a stop to the game. He wouldn't be surprised if the higher ups at Police Plaza had decided to green light this game in exchange for a hefty bag of money. And that, you know, it's, if anyone wants to try to stop the game, it's most likely that the cops are going to go after them than after actual players. And he is very, very angry at the NCPD to the point where the camera at some point during his rant goes straight to the journalist, a middle-aged fake blonde woman who just goes like this. And the feed stops immediately and goes back to the news anchor.
Is there any way we could possibly track the progression of this game?
Outside of playing in it?
Oh, I'm sorry. He sends this as a text message.
Oh,
to the
sorry.
group. Yeah.
I don't know, but I was thinking of asking. I mean, I can try and figure something out, but I wonder if it might be helpful if you sent out some kind of message during your fights. Maybe warding them off of it?
Well, I appreciate the faith you have in my reach, but yeah, I don't think that's going to fly. For all I know, my managers or the company that I work for might be tied to this company. I mean, I could probably do something on my own social media, but I think we need more information. A lead of some kind. But I don't think we can really get ahead of it unless we know what or who is moving to play this game.
What? If nobody else
I mean,
replies
unless
to the text message.
I mean,
White,
I don't know.
Frost is working, so when
Yeah,
he's working,
yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't reply.
You'll get all
so,
the messages at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I can't.
I mean, I don't think it would be wise for any of us to join the game and,
Well, I was gonna say that is one way we could do it.
It certainly is. I know Jinx and I could probably handle ourselves.
Yeah.
No offense to the rest of you. Jimenez
not-
too, but he's busy.
I'm not joining any stupid game. Also, does anyone remember where I put my 6-inch? She's still under the car. She's responding to the text messages.
6-inch.
Yeah, my
what?
6-inch ratchet. Never mind, I found it.
Start with that first next time, okay?
Found it.
and then it's just Texas darting eyes in response. I mean, I don't think I would be cut out for this game anyway because it requires a certain level of skill with firearms in which I am clearly outclassed by at least half the group at this point.
Yeah, but I figure it takes more than skills with guns. Because I mean, especially once you start getting near the top, everybody's gonna go for you. Like, don't bother sleeping anymore once you're you're in the top. What, 5, 10?
But I think invitations to this game are rolling, so I don't really see it ending anytime soon. But you're welcome to borrow my Justice Mime outfit if you want to make a real statement.
That could be useful.
Before we move on to the Iminez. No, actually, you know what? We'll move on to the Iminez show and then we'll do the breaking news after because I found a way to fit both. But before we do that, what is Jinx doing today?
Well, she slept and then worked on her bike and then probably catnapped and then worked on her bike. She's just working on her bike in her apartment and listening to the news.
You don't have a shared garage at this point with Trins?
She keeps her bike with her in her apartment.
She meant she keeps her bike with her in her bed.
That too.
You might get like a couple messages occasionally, just like asking for certain specs on the bike. Just like, can you just double check the wheel gauge of the?
Yeah, and I give everything to you. So yeah.
All right, then we'll fast forward to tonight's segment with Jimenez and Fiona. If I recall correctly, this is not a long segment, right? We're talking about like a few minutes long. It plays before
It'll
the
play
main
during
event.
the match.
Oh, it's
no,
during
it'll
the
be in
match?
the.
Okay.
It's during the day, so between matches they do some backstage segments and storytelling and such. So it'll be a segment. Jimenez is supposedly scheduled for a one-on-one match, but that'll probably get canceled.
And so you find yourself backstage with Fiona. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, is this before the segment or before they're about to start the segment?
Let me send you a quick message. Okay. So yes, it's what I thought. It's after the segment.
No. This whole thing is the segment.
Oh! I'm an idiot. So, you're backstage. There's this one cameraman following you around. He has the whole rack with the shoulder-mounted camera on one shoulder and then the mic on the other. And he says, "And action." And Fiona turns to you and says, "X, we need to talk."
All right. So Jimenez is wearing the Ice Dragon T-shirt, and he's taping up his hands, getting ready for his match. He says, "All right, what do you have to say?"
That fucking stunt you pulled last night. What the hell was that?
My stunt. You were the one who tagged in. I had that match. I don't understand why. Well, I think I understand why you did it, but I wasn't the one who lost the match for us. That was all on you.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't lose the match for us. You went off script. Oh, no, wait, they're not supposed to say that.
That's fine. I'm like, no, I didn't go off script. You did. I had everything lined up and ready to go to finish that match, to take it home and win those titles. But no. You had to tag in.
Yeah. Because we're, Fiona and Jimenez. Fiona and Jimenez. Fiona is first in Fiona and Jimenez. I'm the name. I'm what people recognize. Are you? And she starts snapping her fingers at your face. Are you listening to me?
No. And he just holds up his hand, and there's this little glint in his eyes, and he just, just laser focus looks at Fiona, and he's going to use all of his acting skills, and he wants to, what he was about to say, really hit her on a personal level, but also try to resonate with the crowd a little bit more because, I think they've experienced what he has at one point or several points in their lives. But, he just raises his hand and he just goes, you know what, Fiona, we're done. Because I thought you might have grown up. I thought you might have changed. But this scene played out 5 years ago, and I'm so over it because I'm not your gimmick. I'm not your prop. I'm not even your valet. I was your tag team partner, and I'm a professional wrestler just like you, and screw you for trying to take that away from me. Growing up back east, my immigrant parents believed that the only path to success was a 4.0 GPA at an Ivy League school. And when I fell short of that, they gave up on me. And it's just lonely enough being Asian American on this godforsaken continent because almost everybody here just treats me like a foreigner no matter how long I've lived here. And even with a college degree, I struggled to find work. I was living on the streets, hand to mouth, before I met your dad. And, your dad, God bless him, he saw something in me that no one else did. And for that I'm incredibly grateful. And, I would have done anything for him. And for years, I did the same for you because, it was just you and me against the world. We weren't making a lot of money. We were scraping by, but we were happy. We were doing what we loved. And I don't know. Apparently, it was just never enough for you because even though we were going places, when NCW came knocking on your door, you didn't even hesitate to sign the first contract they put out in front of you. And, I know that because that schmuck Hayes backstage admitted to me when I arrived here that 5 years ago when he came to sign you, you asked if NCW was going to sign me too. And he just laughed and said that I was just a pineapple simp who would only hold your career back. And because of your ambition, you sold me out, abusing my trust in you by saying that you were just doing it for us. And I believe that because of the debt I owed your father and because you dangled a string of brass rings for me to chase and earn my way back to you. But after arriving here on Night City, I just realized that they're imaginary. And the only thing that's real is me, and day in and day out, I've proven it to every audience I performed for, whether it's a bingo hall, abandoned armory, a rundown club, or right here in this Night City garden. I'm just one of the best in the business today. Your father knew it. Club Underground knows it. That locker room backstage right here knows it. All of these NCW fans know it. And deep down, you know it. You know it, but your ego can't stomach this idea that I could be on your level, let alone just a half step ahead of you. And, it must have hurt when you realized that nobody here at NCW wanted to tag team with you. So, that's why you called me in. You called me in because you needed someone to help you keep your spot on the card. But your damn pride cost us both something. You tagged in because you would rather lose those tag team titles than win them because I scored the pin. And after everything that I've done for you, after everything that I've done to this day, you still don't believe in me. No, Fiona, I loved you, but I refuse to live in your shadow. And despite what our managers think, I've earned a place in that ring out there. It's just that you and everybody else in my way continue to move the goalposts, but I'm done playing. Not only am I fucking legit, I am money. And I'm going to show you that underestimating me is the worst mistake you'll ever make. And then he's just going to brush past her and start making his way to the ring.
Can you make an acting check for me, please?
That was great. Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
first-
Bravo.
That's a hell of a nice segment.
Where's acting?
It's cool.
There is. Yeah. $20.
You noticed in Fiona's face when you spoke that you wanted it to hit home. And at some point while you saw just the slightest twitch of her eye, you struck a chord. And you if you wanted to hurt her, you did. And as you brush past her and you leave for the ring, she says, "Hey, X, it's not the
He'll
guy.
turn around and glance.
It's not the guy who signed me who called you a pineapple simp. That was me." You talk about all of this of growing up dirt poor and people hating you and everything, and what you think I'm made of. I deserve to have people in my shadow. I tried to help you. You're just... You know what? Fuck it. Fuck this shit. You walk to this ring right now, we're done. We're through.
Jimenez just chuckles and starts walking towards his match. But then he will try to signal and says, "You better," which basically just says, "You better hit me."
Yeah, she you take like one step further and she takes you by the waist and lifts you up and throws you down back into the changing room.
Okay.
And she's like, "Come on, get up." And
All
she
right,
points
it's
to the
on now.
cameraman and she says, "You keep filming." And she charges at you.
Okay. Jimenez is going to look around and meet it up, but he's going to take whatever she throws at him. He's going to basically sell everything that she does.
It hurts. Dude, she's punching harder than she should have. She's almost doing it on purpose to hurt you just a little bit more than what should have happened.
Yeah.
And as you fight, she pushes you out the back door of the NCG. Out of the door through which,
Yeah.
the performers come in and everything. Out onto the parking lot. She breaks the there's a chain normally that would hold the door. She breaks it out of the wall and wraps it around her fist and punches down at you. You dodge out at the last second and she punches the ground, yelping in pain. She throws the chain in your face as she comes in for a kick that you can barely block. And you begin to notice that she's also going off script. Those are some moves that she's pulling right now that when you talked about that to her this morning, she said she didn't want to. And now she's doing them. It's a good thing that you're a professional athlete and you know how to take those things. The one thing that you did not know how to take, and I'm going to ask you to roll evasion for a second.
$21.
21. And I rolled a 26.
Oh shit.
She picks you up. And power bombs you. Right on LFA's car.
As he's going up, he sees it and knows he can't avoid it. His arms just start flailing. And a group text message will just go out. It'll just say, "Oh, uh-oh, shit." Right before he just makes impact and smashes into the windshield.
Yeah, you smash through the windshield. The car alarm goes off. The other dude who was filming is by the door at this point, not knowing what to do, not knowing if it's scripted or not. Jimenez, you will take... it goes with body, so that would be... melee weapons. Where's unarmed again? I used to be able to find it like that.
It's brawling.
Yeah, it's brawling, but it's not in the... Oh, that's the just the appendix. Okay. I was in the wrong place.
Dex.
Huh?
Dex plus brawling.
Yeah, no, it's the damage. It's the
Oh.
damage I'm looking for. She rolled a 26 on her Dex plus brawling, so she's good. Melee weapon. Oh, damage. There we go. Oof, that is going to hurt. With the car, you are going to take, going through the windshield, you're going to take 29 points of damage with no armor.
So does that mean it automatically goes through his armor, or is that not counting the armor deduction?
It goes through the armor.
He's not wearing armor. He was wearing just a t-shirt and his jeans.
And the shock of the impact. Well, how many hit points do you have left? Did that take out at least half?
It's over half. I have 50 hit points.
Oof. Okay. Can you make a straight body check? Just roll a d10 and you have to roll under your body stat. I figure 4 is under.
Yeah.
You can hear her walk away and say, "We're done," before your eyes begin to lose focus and a sickening feeling of nausea waves over you. And that's where we're going to go on break. Stick around, everyone. We'll have a surprise during break. The promo video by Mr. White and Jimenez by Chris and Anino will be playing during breaks. You won't want to miss it if you haven't seen it on YouTube already. This is going to play in about 2 minutes, and then we'll be back after that. Thanks for sticking around, Chumbas. We'll be right back.
Men as in white are sitting on the roof of the apartment building, looking over Night City. They each have a glass filled with filtered water and a jug between them. On an agent sat on a side table in front of the pair, a hologram of Alt can be seen.
You know, never held a title in any of the promotions I've worked in. But now I see a real path to becoming an NCW champion. It's going to take some luck, but I can do it. It's just that we both know that while things are pretty great right now, all of that can be taken away with just a simple phone call to the wrong person.
That's right.
And, maybe I'm too sentimental, but you know what we don't see, read, or watch anymore? It's a good underdog story. And, when was the last time anyone came out of nowhere and just really upended a megacorp? Now, I can tell that story in the ring, but NCW isn't big enough for that. If I want to spark a movement, the stage has got to be bigger. Wrestling needs to become mainstream. And I can do that. But I have to be front and center at Grand Prix to make it happen.
Front and center, eh? And Grand Prix to boot. Then you can hear Alt in the background saying, running a search on Grand Prix Wrestling and its stakeholders. I see you putting the work into all aspects of your trade. If anyone can pull that off, Max, it's you.
Well, sure, but being best in the world isn't going to get me to Grand Prix. There's a fickle ghoul running the show there, and I need to ensure that he can't say no. So that's where you come in. I've got 2 questions. Can you do it? And what do you want in return?
Can I do it? Of course I can do it. If the timeline is negotiable, because I might have to call in a few favors that I've been sitting on, even hand out 1 or 2. For a job of this sort, my rate will be pretty simple. You cover Alt's fees, and you help me on another job. A really quiet job.
Hello.
Oops.
We're back. We're back with an Jimenez flat out on his back on the windshield of a car. Everyone got a message on your phone, on your agents, that said, oh, uh-oh, shit.
So, here's the thing. Trins was there, and Trins, by this point, has probably made herself at least well enough known to the guys backstage that she kind of like between working and doing a lot, doing repairs for their tech stuff and hanging and dating Jimenez, that they know her. So she was probably sneaking backstage anyways and would be coming out just as Fiona turns around to walk back in.
So you saw on the big screens this whole thing happening in the moment that your boyfriend got thrown onto a car.
No, probably when they went out the back door, because Trins understands that what happens in the ring is scripted, and she understands like when Jimenez tells her that there's going to be a promotion, that it's a promotional video, but like sometimes she doesn't always is not always as good with the this isn't all scripted thing. So she probably is like, wait, they're supposed to be coming out. They're going out the back door. That wasn't in the script. That's not on script. She would be going.
So you make your way backstage as she's coming back. She just shoved the camera guy out of the way as she's storming back in the corridor that leads to the locker room and the changing rooms and all that for the other shows. And she looks surprised to see you. Probably storming in.
Well, aren't you just the height of fashion and good sense, you flaming bitch?
I'm sorry, what?
I said what I said.
Yeah.
Now, excuse me. I'm gonna go deal with the person who actually makes money for your little tag team bullshit.
What do you mean the first? X is fine.
Oh, you mean you put him through a car and he's fine? Which of us is the mechanic and knows what happens when you put a person through a windshield of a car?
Which of us is in wrestling and knows how to fall properly?
Obviously not you if you're too busy getting angry at bullshit that you know is right.
You know it's fake, right?
I know when a girl gets pissy because somebody said the truth to her face.
I did not get pissy.
You totally got pissy and bitchy. And honestly, that's your whole gig. You get pissy and bitchy, which usually is okay. But this is you got pissy and bitchy at your teammate because he told you truth to your face. So,
is that
what
he says about me behind my back? That I'm pissy and bitchy?
No, he doesn't say that. My brother, who's a major-ass fan of wrestling in general, says that about you in general. That's what a lot of people say about you. I mean, you're not quite as bad as, like, Crazy Princess for being level of, like, prima donna bitchy, but you're pretty up there. Actually, now she's pretty okay. Stephanie's actually nice. You're winning on her being a prima donna bitch. But if you don't mind, I have somebody to actually talk to, and you're wasting my time.
And she, like, walks past you, almost bumping into your shoulder as she...
If she goes to do that, Trins is just gonna, like, elbow check her in the gut, because that's as high as she can go. Remembering, of course, that Trins is, like, 5'0" and Fiona's...
So you elbow her in the gut, and she stops. And she looks at you with this, high school bully look. And goes, what, you want to fight, bitch?
No, you're not with my time.
This is about the time that a White's actually, or a Frost is actually following.
See,
Yeah.
I only fight people or hit people that are actually a threat to me. And you're not a threat to me. You're too busy playing with your high school, mean girl bullshit. I have actual things to do. and she'll like kind of, as she'll walk by, flip her off, but let the rippers come out of her nails as she does, and just keep walking at a hurried pace out the door.
Who was watching the fight remotely, and who was at the stadium that evening?
I usually go in person if I can, so.
So
If
you
it's
would.
in the evening, I was there.
Yeah, we'll say it's after. To make sure, we'll say it's after your shift. Because I would like to know who among the group is there and see Trin storming off in her cocktail dress.
And a leather
Or
jacket and high heel and high tops. It's great.
Mhm.
It's a look.
and who would have only seen the segment on TV and gotten the message.
I probably watched it on TV.
Okay. So on site we would have Reno, Trins, and Mr. White. Okay. So Trin stormed out. White and Reno. You saw what happened.
I follow shortly after. Like I kind of see where things are headed, and
In
I
the
start
parking
making
lot.
my way toward the parking lot as I like, or toward backstage. I just badge them with my trauma team badge because I came off shift not that long ago, and push my way through and be like, and Reno, if you wanted to follow, you could. But I'm like watching the big screen as I'm going because I'm like, this is not looking good. When she grabbed that chain and ripped it off the wall, I'm like, that's a weapon. This is
Yeah,
not good.
I'm going with.
Yeah, it did not look like the chain was a prop.
No. There were enough hits that I knew that she wasn't pulling, just medically speaking, that I'm like, she's making real contact. This could get ugly quick.
And the moment you flash your card, the bouncers were going to like signal you to stay out of there. You sign your badge and they look really quickly at you and Reno, believing her to, work with you.
She's my paramedic. Move.
So they let you both go through.
You look like the most paramedic.
And Fiona would see you walk into the corridor and just mutter to herself, "Oh, look, the whole breakfast club is here."
You got a problem?
I just keep walking past her and be like, I don't even say a word. I just keep walking past her.
Yeah,
I'll let Reno take care of it.
You should let Jimenez know when things are supposed to go according to the book, and when he's taking it a little too far.
Is that supposed to be a threat or something? I say, putting my hand obviously on my pistol. I don't draw it, but I'm letting her know it's there.
She says, "Hey, look, he might just listen to you more than me, but what he did tonight, that doesn't go."
White'll yell, "She's not a voicemail service. Call him later."
What do you do, Reno?
I'll let her go. White and we're on a mission, so I'll let her go.
So you all follow into the parking lot. And
I'm gonna check him out. I mean, I'm there medically at this point.
Trins has been trying to at least help him off, or seeing if she's awake, and then seeing if she should help him off the car or wait for Mr. White. And that's probably when she turns and sees the doc come in and is like, do I need to help him off the hood of the car? Because this don't look right.
I can't tell from here as he's taking long strides to try and get there faster.
You guys are getting texts from Jinx being like, "Is he okay? Do you guys need a ride?" ...
He's not. He is out. He's he didn't want to move because he was afraid that he might make things worse. I want to say that he's kind of cratered into the windshield at this point. So
Yeah, the windshield. You know, windshields don't shatter, but it made like this crater of broken glass within the two layers of stuff they put on it. I don't remember, like sticker type thing. But yeah, you are nestled comfortably on a bed of glass shards.
I would say nestled
Acupuncture,
uncomfortably.
And yeah, as you approach him, Mr. White, it doesn't take a surgeon to know that he's bruised up. Jimenez took a beating. And he, at first glance, probably is suffering from a mild concussion. And hopefully none of his spine has been injured. But he might end up with the way that his head snapped back when he was dropped onto the car. He might have, you know, neck pains for a few days, might need a neck brace for a day or two. He's not bleeding, though, at all. So it's probably going to be bruising.
I'm not worried about bleeding. I'm worried about internal injuries. So I'm not moving him until I actually poke and prod him to see what hurts.
You poke on one rib at some point, and as you wake up, as something hurts.
Yeah, I don't
you
actually
on your left
poke.
side.
I'm very gently actually just running my fingers across.
Yeah, the fact that he touches this very sensitive zone. Mr. White touches your sensitive zone. You wake up.
So there's one broken rib.
You right there, buddy? Had a bit of a tumble?
I think I might have touched a nerve.
She was just pissy because you were right.
Anything else? Spine's intact. No discs are moved or pinched or anything like that. Because as soon as he looks like okay, I will actually slip a hand behind him and start checking the ribs as they connect back to the spine and check his spinal cord, starting at the neck and going down.
Yeah, I can feel all my limbs. They hurt a lot.
Good. I just want to make sure that when you move or I help you move, that you don't do any damage, because we want you to keep feeling everything. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Where's where's the ringside crew?
Nobody else came. I don't know.
And
well,
then,
that's just typical, I guess.
And then, as you say that, a bunch of people start coming out. The same cameraman from earlier who stood befuddled as to what happened sort of snapped back to his senses and is trying to get a good angle of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to be fair, I got what I wanted out of that.
Yeah, I think you got more than you bargained for.
Oh, I just wanted to make a really good segment for tonight. I don't think people are going to forget this one.
No.
Can you hear the crowd at all? Like, is there any like noise or stuff from the show?
Make a perception check. Because I mean, the door to the back, both doors to the backstage are open. There's a substantial crowd.
Oh wow.
Yeah, even with a 20, you don't need to reroll. You would hear as Fiona steps out of, and you're pretty sure that's when she steps out of the backstage onto the ringside, the booing. And and the jeers directed at Fiona.
Yeah, people aren't very happy with your girlfriend, mate.
I object to that.
My girlfriend's right here. What are you talking about?
I appreciate that.
That explains the dress. Okay.
What? Is it
I'm
not a good
I'm on board
dress?
now.
I thought it was a good dress.
It looks
No,
good
I was
on
just
you.
very confused because you don't usually wear anything but grease.
That's not fair.
There's
Is it?
the guy with the camera turns to Reno and says, "You said she was Jimenez's girlfriend?
Nope, didn't say anything at all. Fuck off.
Are you Jimenez's girlfriend?" And he turns to Trins.
She's focused on Jimenez in the car and doesn't actually pay attention. And she goes, "What? You think I'm standing around in this nice swing dress because I think it for the weather?" And she also is looking at this car, going, "Damn, this is gonna be a bitch to fix."
Hey, camera junkie, if you want to do something useful, you could at least pull up the chatter on the web and show Jimenez whether or not the bit was worth his time and his pain.
I mean, I think that could wait till later. I just, yeah, no cameras on us.
No,
this
but
is
he
all
could
private.
pull up his his agent and do something useful.
Yeah, but you know, maybe I can lie down on one of those really long, stiff, immobilizing boards.
Yeah.
I think that would help with my posture.
I'm hoping if somebody shows up with one of those and
Hey, you! Go get a gurney!
So is he alive?
somebody let Jinx know what's going on.
Yes, he's alive. I will text back.
Wait, who's Jinx? The guy with the camera asks.
None of your business. Fuck off.
Seriously.
Potential
that,
second
like-
girlfriend.
Trins
I
is trying-
as he continues questioning, I will pull out my pistol. Fuck off.
Whoa, hey.
Go. Go.
But I can pay for interviews.
We
You've
don't
been
need any money.
useless. Leave.
I'm richer than God.
Don't say that. We don't want intentional. We don't want additional attention because he'll put that on the web.
Yeah, I haven't shot it in a while. Might as well, you know.
Trins, your agent begins buzzing as you get messages. Multiple tabloids, sports magazines and websites, as well as some of the more like those that focuses on recent events in Night City, would like they invite you for photo ops and interviews. And the same goes for Jimenez.
And
Except Jimenez, it's with or without Trins, but apparently there is now, since she was caught on TV, a moderate influx of interest.
Trins is not paying attention because she's Trins. It's not important to her right now.
White pulls a knife from somewhere in a sleeve and cuts the shirt off Jimenez. And then pulls out bandaging and he starts wrapping up his torso. We got to stabilize this brib, man.
Yeah, X's chest is purple in some places.
Wait.
Look, but don't touch.
Is there any internal bleeding or anything
Look,
like that?
but don't touch.
Okay.
No, there's not. I already checked.
The only thing that can heal Jimenez right now is the trembling feminine fingers of a nurse. and a mounting sexual tension.
That's a different show.
I mean, which other Simon show is this?
But lady, this is a bathtub.
Oh shit. So at this point,
Okay. I think it's time.
You're
I think
fine.
it's time to go home.
and at this point, that's when White hits you with basically an injection, and it's a speed heal.
Did you need the stats again?
Yeah, I can't find it. I'm looking for it.
No
And I'm missing it.
problem. I have it here. It's under. You said speed heal.
I think that's the one it is. Thought that's what I had in my notes, but it may have changed names when we went to the full version.
Because it might have been the 2021 that I used,
Yeah.
but it's okay. I'm gonna find it in the
Stabilizer, I guess. It's whatever gives like a couple points back and staunches
yeah, it's gonna
any
be in
bleeding.
healing and stuff like that.
Because it wasn't in the trauma team section, which is where I went to, because I wanted my target numbers in case you made me roll, and what skills I needed for which parts.
Now he's so because this is all bruising and such, he's already stabilized.
Okay, so that's not it.
What did you say?
So that wouldn't work then.
Oh no, apparently I mispronounced stabilize.
Stabilize?
No, stabilize.
Stabilize?
Stabilize.
The root word is stable with an E on the end, making it a long A. Then you add the suffix of IZE.
He's just doing it on purpose to piss
I
me
know.
off.
And I'm just nerding out on the word to be an asshole. So
It's okay. Wait.
That's going to make for a great clip later.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. So what we'll say
Okay.
is, you immediately, Jimenez, regain a number of HP equal to your
Body.
body stat.
8. Okay.
So yeah, that's and as soon as that's done and he's wrapped up, and I made it look good and professional, so that way if he does need to do any more filming, or anybody does catch him on camera, they don't get any of the bruises, but he looks like he got, well, as fucked up as he is, but nobody has proof.
That makes sense. The rest of the crowd, the ringside crowd, immediately ushers after they've made sure that Jimenez was in proper condition. They would lie him down on a gurney and would usher you away from him for a moment as El Efe shows up, pissed off, and moves the ringside crew and looks at you, Jimenez, and says, "Whose fucking brilliant idea was that?"
Well, you mean the segment or the fact that it was your car?
The fact that it was my car.
So I didn't choose that car, but I also didn't expect that.
I was just told that I had assigned parking tonight. And to park there.
Well, I mean, Hefe, I'm smart, but I'm not going to work you over like that. I bet it was Hayes. You should talk to Hayes.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to someone, alright? This is bullshit. Just because I'm not part of the big boys club. So they can just smash my shit around?
Well, Club Underground is in some ways cooler than Night City Wrestling.
Yeah, but we all know I'm smaller than NCW.
Well, but you've got a loyal fan base. And all your best wrestlers end up going to Night City Wrestling anyway.
Yeah, so they keep stealing. Oh, hello, Raiders! They keep stealing my wrestlers and then they break my car?
Fix it. I can even make it better.
Yeah.
And he looks at, he looks at Trins. Says, that's right. Your girlfriend's the handy one. I guess now why you picked her. Yeah, sure, you can work on it.
There's just this moment of like she's still standing next to Jimenez and like kind of pats him on the shoulder and then looks at the car. But she doesn't go running over to it.
It just looks over and just says, "Oh, I get it." So it takes me going through the windshield of a car before you, reprioritize things.
Huh?
You could go. It's fine. Go tow the car.
Well, I can do more than just tow the car. This should be relatively easy. And she's like, if you're sure, are you okay? Doc, is he okay?
He's fine.
You have made a grave mistake in letting him work on your car. Grave mistake. Not that she can't do it. She just won't shut up now.
I feel hurt and attacked by that statement.
It
At
will
least I'm
be.
honest.
It will return to you in better condition than you drove it here.
I made a mistake earlier. Speed heal is in the book. It's on, I can't say the page, but it does heal body plus will, not just body.
Oh. Okay, so 15 instead.
For all of you coming in from the raid, if you're wondering, we are playing Cyberpunk Red, and we are playing with the official unreleased rules. So everything that you see here is actually a part of the books that you can get on November 19th. So, if nothing else happens, if you don't want any other scenes in the parking lot, we'll fast forward to the next day. I'm just waiting for an okay from all of you, unless there's something that you wanted to do. Okay. Fast forwarding to the next day, almost at the break of dawn, Jimenez's phone rings. Your agent goes off. Today was supposed to be, resting and recuperating. And 6 a.m. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah.
I gotta change my
Nah, 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 nah,
ringtone. The phone's right by his side. He's sleeping on his back, obviously. I don't know if Trins is there, but he will just lift up the phone so he can see it and just see who's calling.
It's a Potemkin's Y.
Huh. And he'll answer it. This is Carlton.
Good morning. Good morning. Am I talking to the artist known as Jimenez?
Yeah, how did you get this number?
It took me a while to get it. I went through a man who calls himself El Efe.
God damn it! Why does he do that?
No, look, before you hang up, please. Okay. I saw you at the hospital the other day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You,
Sorry about your son.
Yeah. Can you help me? I need someone that can beat someone up. I know it's I know it's asking a lot, and you're look, I went to check the other room at the hospital, and I saw the other wrestler. I recognize him. I don't remember his name. Ice-T or something like that. So I figured, I knew I'd seen you somewhere. My son had shown me videos of you getting beat up on the street, and then the sort of a big shout out you did a few months ago. I remembered. I didn't know who you were back then, but you're a fighter, right? I need someone who can fight to help me with something. If
Generally, I prefer to solve differences without fighting. You do know I'm just a wrestler, right? Professional wrestler. It's not exactly. Well, it's scripted.
Okay. Shit. Would you know, like, a professional fighter then? Someone who's willing to beat up someone for money. It's not for me, it's for my son. I'm doing it for my son.
I tell you what. Let's meet for a drink and we can talk over. See what you really want.
All right. I heard, on the news and everything that people that do these things, they meet up at the Forlorn Hope, so we can meet up there.
I don't know if that's really a safe idea.
Oh, you want to come over for a drink? Or we can just pick a place downtown. I don't know where. I've never done this. I don't want to be caught,
Yeah, no, I get it. Let's go meet at the Waffle House.
Waffle House it is. Thank you, Mr. Carlton, you said.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Carlton. I guarantee you it's not much. It's just I can't sleep at night, and someone has to pay, someone has to do it for all the fathers out there.
All right. Well, we'll talk more later.
All right. He would give you, since he's in a hurry, he would say like 2 p.m. that very afternoon.
Okay. You'll send out a group message to folks. Got a meeting at Waffle House at 2 p.m. I think it might have something to do with Last Man Standing.
Okay, I'll see you there. God, this stupid Hefe. Does he not know you have to change your frickin' fluids? He doesn't do any of this.
I think he's just busy.
Well, his brakes look like he hasn't gotten them done in 10 years. Then he's going to lose control of the car, and then where would he be?
Probably not where he wants to be. He says with exaggerated patience.
Prince is probably up and under the car, Hefe's car by this point because she gets up early. But there was like a little note folded, like next to Jimenez, but his phone like was next to his agent. It was mostly polite, but it was like really kind of. It looks very pretty, but not. It was just like, "I'll see you later. Hope you feel better. Don't forget to follow the doc's instructions and hope you feel better." Little hearts.
Aw. He will tuck that note over into a memento box that he keeps somewhere.
I would like to know. Jinx, Reno, Mr. White. Mr. White has got to work today, unfortunately. Unless there was something you wanted to do right before leaving for work.
You can let everybody else go first.
Okay. Reno and Jinx. You get that message early in the morning. I will assume that you are probably still in bed at 6 a.m. by the time you get that message. Unless, you know, when your life is not in danger, you like to get up at godforsaken hours.
I went to bed at 4 a.m.
She sleeps until 3.
She's a night owl.
That works. Except that 2 hours after you fell asleep, you got a message from Jimenez.
I mean, if you left your notifications on, then that's on you. So, I'm just saying.
Ding 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 ding.
I like to think that, you know, when you're asleep, the Chiron still works. So like all you see is darkness and then like bloop, a flashy like window that shows up.
You may not see it though, not if you're fully asleep.
Yeah, no.
It's just over and over and over again. What is the text message again?
Says,
It's
meeting with someone at 2 p.m. I think it might be Last Man Standing related.
Would you like me to go? Would you like me to go secretly?
No, I think we should all talk with him. He wants me to beat someone up, which, I mean...
El Jefe?
No, it's a... I'll explain a little later, but it's a guy that I saw at the hospital the other night.
Weird. Okay.
I was going to follow up with him anyways, but it seems he got to me first.
Okay. I'll go. I'm also going to text White as he set it off for work. Find some kind of nurse that needs extra work that enjoys annoying people. Not implying not her annoying people, but she doesn't mind being around annoying people.
You don't want Nurse Ratchet showing up?
Patience is the key word here.
White sends back a thumbs up emoji.
Okay.
and then asks Carver, Hey, Carver, remember when I said I'd give you money?
Listen, we got a proposition for you here.
I am not putting Kava in charge of that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think a Ripper Doc makes for a very good home healthcare nurse.
Yeah, but I also know that whoever gets their doctor degree would not would not agree to take the position of a nurse. It seems that the degree comes with a certain expectation of the hierarchy of who you are compared to God. But I digress.
It depends on the surgeon, but in Kava's case, you are absolutely correct.
So White, you receive that message. You're loading up the AV with the rest of the crew. Buchos is making sure that everything's up to par for the day. There hasn't been, luckily, last night was quiet, and so was this morning. The graveyard shift team were relieved. Sorry, that the game did not cause any more accidents, and by accidents, whatever violence or violent events could have happened than usual. There were no spikes because of the game last night, which felt like a relief to the team. And normally early in the morning, things tend to die down a bit. And as you're loading up, yeah, you get that message saying that there is a meeting later this afternoon.
White notes it, but he doesn't respond yet. He takes a moment and flashes back to earlier when he woke up. And he woke up at 3 a.m., hailed a cab, and left. And you see him in a different part of town, in South Night City, at a little bodega, picking up a burner phone, grabbing a different cab, and he heads out into Haywood, out in the suburbs. And at about 4:30 in the morning, he's knocking on the back door of a business. Out front, you can see it all like locked up, but the lights are on somewhere in the back because the glow's coming through. And the shop itself is this little rinky-dink apothecary. And he walks in through the back door when it's opened and picks up a glass jar, and he leaves. And in the alley, and he gets in the cab, heads out back to one of the more shadier parts of South Night City, and disappears into an alleyway. And he pulls out the phone and dials the number. Voicemail picks up. He goes, "Hey, Doc. I don't know when you're going to get this, but I tried. I tried to be the person that you taught me to be. I keep trying. Nothing seems to work. It's getting worse. I think I figured out things. And if you knew, I don't know if you were trying to save me from myself or you just didn't have the heart to tell me. But nobody deserves what they were going to do to me. Nobody deserves to lose their life and be possessed by another. I don't know how much longer I can keep trying. Doesn't matter how many good deeds I do. This world is still shit. Maybe another day. I'll leave another message. Until that day. Then he hangs up and he pulls the top off the jar and he drops, or sets it on the ground and he pulls the top off the jar very gingerly. And he drops, or lowers the phone into it and watches as the acid eats the phone. He closes it up and walks away. Hails a cab. We're back in the present when the text message comes through.
And that's where we're gonna end tonight. Shit's going down from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But
A lot to do.
yes, things are going to be very interesting next week. I can't wait. But that said, let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and I'll finish the episode with what other shows we have going on, and thank all of our sponsors. So we'll do the same order as we did the introductions. So we'll start with Reno.
Yeah, that's me, Adelaide Gardner, Adelaide on Twitter and everything else. I am on this show. I am on an upcoming one that has not been announced yet, and I'm running my own two that are completely cosplayed streams, as well as I am on Faithforge Academy, which is a 5e podcast, which is awesome. Go check that one out. Yeah, you can find me there. Check it out. Can't wait for next week. Actually, I might not be here next week. I'm gonna hopefully arrive late. We'll see.
Okay.
But
that's true.
I'll try.
All right, we'll talk after the show. Because I completely forgot while we were doing the episode tonight. Jimenez, you're next.
Hey everyone, my name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. This Sunday do we have one? No,
Saturday.
I don't think we have a show this Sunday. Never mind. I don't have a show this Sunday. But I do have two other shows tomorrow. I'm going to leave it up to both Simon and Prax to tell you all about it since it's their shows. Anyway, tune in next week. Hope you had fun today.
Jinx, you're next.
Hey, I'm Rin. Burns Through the Rain in Twitch chat and at Heaven's Night on Twitter, and I'm just gonna be lurking in the background like I always do. Except on Fridays. That's it.
Mr. White.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me here Fridays for more Cyberpunk Red. And when one of those two shows launches on Action Fiction with Adelaide, you're going to find me as the host of another Castle Falkenstein game. If anybody out there in chat or watching this on YouTube has followed any of the seasons here on Wandering DM, know that there might be some Easter eggs and or clues that might have something to do with season 4. If you want to watch, sprinkled in to the season on Action Fiction, come hang out, check out a new show, check out cosplay, and see how everything ties together.
And last but certainly not least, Trends.
Oh, hey, y'all. You know me. I'm at Georgia Dunlin on Twitter. Prexagarth has me before. You see me around on Twitch. And oh, yeah, that thing that Anino mentioned earlier is on 8 o'clock on my channel, 8 p.m. Eastern on Prexagarth has me for you for episode 3 of The Regiment. things are getting dramatic and explosive at the same time, as fires breaking out in medical tents is never a good thing. But I think the real drama will always be between the NPCs and players. So yes, come on, hang out, join us tomorrow, find out what's going on, what will happen. We don't know yet. We are continuing I've decided I'm gonna keep going with this. You're all invited to bring your tea to the regiment. That's what it is. It's a giant tea party. Have fun with us. And then I will be back here Thursday and Friday because we had our season finale for Witcher Family of Wraiths last Wednesday. If you didn't watch it, go watch it because, yeah, that was an emotional gut punch of a best kind of way. And sometimes the most tense things in the world aren't actually combat. But other than that, check my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be, all the fun things I get to do, all the fun, wonderful, fabulous people I get to hang out with, like these fine folks right here. And I'll see you next time.
And I am Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thank you to all of you who hung out in chat. Thank you for the subs, the follows, the raids, everything. Thank you, Huyenyo, for bringing your friends over. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. And thank you to our sponsors, Artalsorians, Mage Hand Press, Found Familiar, Roll20. Thank you to our partners, Level Up Dice, who, by the way, if you haven't checked it out, they have just released a special Halloween dice set on their website. It's in collaboration with Wormwood. You might want to head on over to Level Up Dice using the purple torch down below or the link in chat and check that out. Speaking of Level Up Dice, tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. I'll be over on their channel GMing our first session of Scion, Birth of the New Gods, with Anino and an awesome crew of players. We did world building last week, and tomorrow we're going to put all of that in motion. We're also going to be back on Monday for Secrets of the North here at 8:30, haha, I didn't mess it up, p.m. Eastern, and back for, hopefully with no gremlins, the Dragon Age season finale on Thursday at 8 p.m. and some more Cyberpunk next week.
I'm convinced the gremlins just don't want Thursdays to end.
It's not gonna end, that's the thing.
They don't seem to know that.
I know.
They hear finale and they get into your computer and they're like, no, can't end it, Simon, can't end it.
They got into so many computers this week. But on that note, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.